Coming up on this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show, I'm going to be talking all about the world's tallest and fastest virtual reality drop tower coming to a Six Flags park over in America. For any fans of the wooden roller coaster at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I'm going to be sharing some very good news and what is the future for one of Thorpe Park's most popular flat rides. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. Welcome to this week's episode of the show. Had a very busy week actually, went over to Leesburg in Sweden with Martin. We had an absolutely fantastic trip and our travel vlog is now online here on the channel. It's the second travel vlog that we've done. Me and Charlotte did one from our trip to Portaventura early in the month and you guys seem to really like it, so it's something we're going to continue here on the channel and they're really good fun to film. I really like showing you guys how to get to these parks and that's what it's all about. It's about where to fly to, transfers to the park and accommodation as well, so make sure you check that out now online here on the channel. They're all going to be around 10 minutes long, give or take. Some might be a bit shorter, some might be a bit longer, but give or take around 10 minutes. I don't want it to be too long, the travel vlogs. I think it needs to be more straight to the point, but make sure you do check it out. It's a really good vlog and I'll put the link down below in the description for you guys to watch that one. Our main Leesburg vlog will be online this weekend, so make sure you do stay tuned for it in the next few days here on our YouTube channel. One of the best vlogs I've ever filmed. Me and Martin had such a great laugh, especially at the end of the vlog, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. It's full of both on and off-ride footage. We went on Boulder, Helix, Atmosphere. We had a little look around the old site of Kanonen to see what's going on there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to ride the new Intamin gyro swing known as Loki. Unfortunately, as soon as I filmed last week's episode of the show, Leesburg posted on their Facebook page that it wasn't going to be ready for opening weekend, and it does open this Saturday. So anybody going out to Leesburg from this weekend, make sure you check out the new ride and make sure you let us know what it's like. We had that much of a good trip. I'll probably get back out there again later in the year to Leesburg and maybe go and try another Swedish park as well. Grunaland looks like somewhere very exciting to go and visit, so we'll have to see with that one. But yes, make sure you check out our vlogs here on the YouTube channel. Not that much to get through this week in terms of theme park news. It has been a bit of a quieter week in the industry, but it is time for that news off the rails. Now I'm going to start off with some pretty sad news from Thorpe Park. Now unfortunately the park have confirmed that the Slammer is set to close for the whole of the 2017 season. That's really sad. I mean, the ride's been shut for the past few weeks since the park first opened. Normally they do extended maintenance and it opens like May sort of time, but yeah, they've said it's not going to open for the whole of 2017. I think this is a big shame. It's a very unique ride. It first opened at Thorpe Park back in 2005 and it's been the world's only S&S worldwide Sky SWAT attraction since 2010, when the other one, there's only been two of these rides, bear in mind, in the world, when the other one did close down for good also. It's such a shame that we're going to lose potentially this fantastic flat ride. I mean, we know what Thorpe Park are like when it comes to saying things are going to shut for a year then open again. Look at Loggers Leap. They announced at the end of 2015 that was going to shut for a year and then it never reopened this year and it looks to be just gathering dust sat there in Old Town, which is a shame. So could this be the same for the Slammer? We have had our last rides on it last year. It'll be a big shame if so. The last rides I would have ever had on Slammer would have been in our event, our Theme Park Worldwide event at the end of last year for Fright Nights. It'd be a big shame if it is set to close. Like I say, such a unique flat ride, the only one left in the world now. And I remember when that concept was developed in the early 2000s, you know, I mean, I remember watching a documentary on it and talking about this ride and they were hoping to sell loads S&S and they really just didn't sell that well. It was such a unique ride, Sky SWAT. It was, and luckily we did get the Slammer at Thorpe Park in the UK. I mean, the only other one was over in the States. So yeah, it's very sad, but comment below, what are your thoughts on the Slammer at Thorpe Park? Has it got a future? Is this going to be the end of the ride? I really hope it's not the end. I just want to give it one last send off if it is. It's always sad when you think that when a park announces like this that a ride's going to shut for a year and that could potentially be it for it. It would have been nice to give it a big send off, but who knows? Let's keep watching Thorpe Park and see what happens with that ride over the next closed season. Will it reopen in 2018? Comment below. The future of Slammer at Thorpe Park. Now, Six Flags Great Adventure will open the world's tallest and fastest virtual reality drop tower, Drop of Doom. Now, this is very interesting because it's already the tallest drop tower in the world. It's faster to the side of King Dakar, and it looks fantastic. However, virtual reality on a drop tower, I'm really not too sure how this is going to work. I mean, yes, we've had it now on roller coasters, we've had it on dark rides, but we're getting it on drop towers. I mean, what? Does this really make any sense at all? The whole fear of a drop tower is going up there, building that anticipation. Yes, the fall is the thrilling part, but with a drop tower, it's building it up as you take that gradual climb up to the top, looking down, looking at the height, looking at the surroundings. That's going to take this whole feel away from it. But it's very interesting to see what's going to happen here. Anyway, here's a little description from the park, what they've released. So, whilst anxious riders buckle into their flawless seats and strap on their VR headsets, I love all that, little build-up, they're transported into a 360-degree virtual world where they become pilots of a futuristic gunship under attack by mutant spiders. This intense interactive adventure features high-speed vertical ascent up 41 actual stories that transforms into 100 virtual stories. So they're saying it's 1,000 feet, aren't they, this? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this actually pans out. I mean, like I say, it could be good in terms of you're not going to know when you're going to fall because you don't know when you're at the top, and the force could be good from that. You'll be like, oh my god, you know, you're that immersed into the video and then you drop 400 foot. It's going to be just very interesting to see how it works. I mean, a 360-degree rotating view on there as well, so you'll be able to look round on them headsets. And yeah, the ending's going to be a drop down with a big spider, which is the size of a big van apparently. So that'll be interesting to see how it works. But what are your thoughts on VR on drop towers? Me personally, I'm not a big fan of VR at all. I think it ruins attractions, especially roller coasters. It works on Darren Brown's Ghost Train at Thorpe Park, but I still would have rather had a live scene. Imagine on the Ghost Train if you'd have walked on, sat down, then all the lights went off, filled with smoke, pyro effects, fire outside. Yeah, it would have been fantastic. I know that would have cost a fortune, but surely Thorpe Park have wasted enough money on trying to sort the VR. And look at Galactica at Alton Towers as well. The VR on that is still not working, and we're a month into the season at Alton Towers. So yeah, it's very interesting to see what happens with VR, but I just don't think there is a place for it in the future of theme parks. If there is, it needs to be done as like a motion-based thing. And when I was at Leesburg actually last week, me and Martin both tried out Valkyrie, which is their new dive coaster opening next year, and they had a VR experience, but it was literally just in a room and you sat on a chair what moved, and I thought that was the best VR thing that I've ever done, to be honest. As you know, I'm not a massive fan of it, but that was actually quite good, and definitely something to check out in our Leesburg vlog that'll be online from the weekend. Finally though, some good news from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Now, 3 of the roller coasters at Blackpool Pleasure Beach have just been Grade 2 listed. The Grand National, Big Dipper and the Blue Flyer roller coasters have now all been Grade 2 listed by Historic England on the 19th of April 2017. This is really good news for the park. It secures their future at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and it basically means that if they need to do any modifications to it or anything, they have to apply for planning permission before they can do that, and obviously it depends on what they want to do as to whether that gets accepted. There's a lot of big fans of wooden roller coasters here in the UK, and especially over in the States as well. A lot of people I know from America have been to Blackpool Pleasure Beach and been on their wooden coasters, so it's great to see that they're going to be saved. It really is. So yeah, here's the future of wooden coasters in Blackpool Pleasure Beach. As much as I would like to see an RMC coaster at Blackpool, you know, I think this pretty much, is that going to rule out that happening in the future? I think it probably will do, but in terms of building a new RMC at Blackpool, that could be something interesting the park could go for, especially if Icon, the new Matt launch coaster, goes well for them. Maybe in a few years time they'll be ready for another new coaster, and an RMC would be a good point. I don't know where they'll build it in the park, maybe around by Valhalla, all around the back section there, maybe have it interact with one of the old wooden coasters, who knows. But in terms of them 3 rides being protected, it's really good. It goes a long list of Blackpool rides that have been protected over the years, so it's really good to see. I mean, Noah's Ark, I don't know if any of you did that, that was a really nice classic attraction. That's now a Grade 2 listed as well. Yeah, of course, like the flying machines. There are lots of classic attractions at Blackpool, and that's why I enjoy it. It's such a historic, nostalgic place, and let's just hope these rides are saved for the future enjoyment of theme park enthusiasts throughout the UK and worldwide, of course. Very good news for Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and of course make sure you check out our regular updates on the construction of Icon here on Theme Park Worldwide.
You're like a roller coaster, move and shake me side to side. Yes, then I know, but I'm making you ride like a roller coaster.
So it is time for Name That Coaster. Now, quite a few people did get this one right on last week's comments. I went through all the comments last night. Of course, I was away, so I've not had much time to go through all the comments over the past week. It's always great reading through the comments, and of course, seeing that you guys like our videos is fantastic, and it makes me feel so happy to see that you guys are enjoying our content and our vlogs. It really is fantastic. We love what we do here at Theme Park Worldwide, and here's to the future of the channel and bringing even more exciting content for you guys. We've got our biggest ever trip coming up at the end of May. Of course, our big Asia trip is going to be amazing. 2.5 weeks, me and Alex over there in Asia, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. We're getting a little bit scared about the trip now and getting it all together. There's so much to think about, but it really is going to be very exciting. So thanks to each and every one of you for your support with the channel, and here is to the future. So yes, Name That Coaster last week was Flying Aces over at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi. It looks absolutely fantastic, that ride. I've not been over to the park. I'd love to go to Abu Dhabi and Dubai and do the parks and see it all. Yas Water World somewhere that really interests me actually. I'm not really a massive fan of water parks, but that one looks great. I'd love to get there at some point. So yes, Flying Aces, well done to anyone that got that right. Remember, this section of the show is just for fun, but I love reading the comments down below. I love the banter what you guys put on this as well, and commenting on each other's posts thinking, oh no, it's not that, yes it is that. So let's have another one, shall we? And to give you no clues with this one, here it is this week's Name That Coaster. And stop. There we go, a bit of a shorter one this week. I think quite a lot of you might get this one. It is a ride that I've been on as well here on Theme Park Worldwide, so make sure you do, yeah, keep your eyes peeled out there, because you might just realise what this one is quite quickly. All you need to do is comment down below here on Theme Park Worldwide, the show. Hey, that rhymes, doesn't it? Comment down below here on the show, and then the next week I'll release what that coaster was, along with sharing a new one for you guys to guess here on the channel. So yes, it is time for Merch Paradise. Now these items are something what I have shown before here on the channel in a past series, but I thought with me talking about wooden roller coasters, in particular Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I'd show you these items. Now you can still get items like this for sale at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, depending on what there is, normally bits of wood or wheels and all that kind of stuff, available in the Kiss Me Quick shop, just underneath the flying machines at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, just opposite Valhalla, so make sure you do go in there and see what you can get. So here it is, Grand National piece of wood. So obviously when they replace bits of wood on the ride to keep it standing, they sell them off. So here you go, you can't really tell which one's which really, so they have put the little tags on just there as well, especially these two with them both being white paint on there as well. This from the Big Dipper, and you got the little tag on there, bit of history on the ride, which is quite cool. And this one here as well, from the Zipper Dipper, or as it is called, the Blue Flyer now in Nickelodeon Streak. There you go, you can tell because of course that one's blue. But yeah, it's great how they sell them at the park. Like I say, there's all sorts of wheels, bits of chain sometimes in the ride, so make sure you do check it out. And it's not too badly priced either, really reasonably priced, the merchandise at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And it's really nice to pick up quite a unique item that is from a wooden roller coaster at the park.
Questions, questions, questions everywhere.
Next up then, it is question time here on the show. Of course, keep your questions coming in over on the Facebook page for Theme Park Worldwide. Charlotte will get back to you and she'll pick 4 questions each week for me to read out. They don't just have to be questions about what are my favourite rides and all that kind of stuff. If you want top tips or advice about rides, you can also ask your questions there too. So a bit like Swagger Louie did really. I do apologise if I said your name wrong there. Well, this person has asked, any advice if you're nervous to go on Red Force? Of course, Red Force is the brand new Europe's tallest and fastest roller coaster as part of Ferrari Land at Portaventura World. Yes, some advice for you. Of course, sit on the front row and get your arms in the air and just enjoy it. I know you might be thinking, God, I'm scared, but I always think if you sit on the front row, you can see exactly what's happening around you, you can see the surroundings, you know where you're on the coaster. If you sat at the back or any other row, you've got a seat in front of you, it's blocking your view, and I think it always makes it a bit more scary going on that coaster. So if you're a bit scared for it, whether it's because of the speed or the height, then yeah, sit on the front row, just embrace it, don't hold on and clench your fists. I say this all the time, but if you're doing that, it sort of makes you more scared and makes you sweat, doesn't it, with fear. With doing that, getting your arms in the air on the front row, enjoy the experience, I'm sure it'll be fine. Thanks for your question. Tom has asked, Helix or Taron? It's a tough call, but after going back on Helix, definitely Helix. But Taron does come in at number 3. My top 3 coasters, Shambhala number 1, Helix number 2, and then Taron at number 3. So thanks for your question there, Tom. Jamie has asked, what was my favourite roller coaster before Shambhala? Ooh, that is a really good question there, Jamie. To be honest, there was a lot of contenders and it used to change very, very often. However, Space Mountain Mission 2 at Disneyland Paris is a ride that I had such an emotional connection with. I visited Disneyland Paris a lot from 2005 through to around 2012. I was there a lot, multiple times throughout the year, and yeah, I think Space Mountain Mission 2 was that coaster. The overall theme, the Jules Verne style theming of it, and I know original Space Mountain in a way was better, but I did like the Mission 2 music, and that was something what really added to the ride for me. It's a fantastic coaster, and I just look forward to seeing what they do with it going forward. Hyperspace Mountain, I'm not too sure on, to be honest, with it being in Paris. It worked really great over at Disneyland in California, but is it going to work well on Paris with all the nice architecture on that building? I'm not too sure, but I'll find out later this year when I visit. Thanks for your question there. Final one from Craig, my favourite launch coaster. I've already mentioned it in this episode, in question time actually, and that is Helix at Leesburg for my favourite launch coaster. It is brilliant, it's a double launch, and it is absolutely awesome. But I don't think it was warmed up quite properly when we were there last week. It did seem quite sort of slow at points, but it was very good, and it was great to get back on Helix. Thank you for all of your questions. Like I say, keep them coming in over on our Facebook page, and we'll have even more next week. Now, TPW Showcase is something that has grown so much this year. Thank you to each and every one of you that keeps sending in content. This really is our biggest one yet of the series so far. So here we go. First off then, we've got William with a swarm on-ride photo from Thorpe Park. Callum here has had a group photo there with me, so thank you for sharing that one. Alfie had a photo here with me as well. Thanks for that, Alfie. Swagger Louie again with a smiler on-ride photo. Like I say, I do apologise if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm awful at pronunciation. Jamie with a Gruffalo photo there from Chessington. Thanks for that one. Charlotte's here has got a swarm on-ride photo, also from Thorpe Park. Brandon has a Nemesis on-ride photo here from Alton Towers. Thanks for sharing that, Brandon. Marshall with a big one on-ride photo here from Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Ben has got an Ultimate on-ride photo. Thanks for sharing that one. We love the Ultimate. We're having our annual Yorkshire trip later this year, so stay tuned for that one. Nicholas has got an Invader on-ride photo. Looks like a really good ride, that, so thanks for sharing your picture. Maybe sending a review with it as well, so we can talk about it next week, so thanks for that one. Hugo has had a photo here with Mr. Harry Turnstiles himself, so thanks for sharing that. Next up then, we've got Paul with a Stealth on-ride photo from Thorpe Park. Guy here has had a photo with Mr. Lee Wood. I'm sure Lee enjoyed meeting you there, Guy. Moving on to your merchandise photos then now. We've got Stacey with a Disneyland Paris map. Jenny has got a merch collection here to share with us as well. Then we've got Aaron with an Alton Towers map in his collection, so thanks for sharing that one. We've got Talia, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there, I'm awful at doing this, I don't know why I do it, I'm so bad. And then you've got a merchandise collection here that Talia has shared, so thank you very much for that one. We've got Brandon with a Swarm mugshot there as well, so thanks for sending that in to us here at the show. Also, very, very big happy birthdays this week to Taylor, Luke and Graham. Happy birthday to all three of you from us all here at Theme Park Worldwide. If you have got anything you want to send in for TPW Showcase, all you need to do is message it in over on Instagram via message or on Facebook as well. So make sure you keep them coming in. So let's try and get even more TPW Showcase for next week's episode. Thank you very much for watching another episode of the show here on the channel. Like I say, check out our brand new travel vlog from Leesburg. Our main vlog will be online in the next few days, along with our Q&A video with the one and only Mr. Lee Wood, right here from the world of theme parks. I'm Shawn Sanbrooke. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week, and that means it's time to cue those credits. Bye, guys.